There's a controversial question going around in the spiritual community, and it's got to do with sending love and light. Like, should I send love and light? And have you ever had this where somebody sends you energy, but you land up feeling a little bit yuck from somebody's sent energy? Is it possible that sending love and light can ever backfire? Does this contravene free will? There's a couple of questions we need to look at here. And it's spurred by an email somebody sent me. They read a comment on one of my videos, which I hadn't seen. And, you know, at the end of every video, I send love. I send love at the end of most videos. I do a little love activation right at the end. And I think somebody's message was something along the lines of, oh, that's black magic. That's black magic, baby. If you're sending something that somebody else didn't ask for, then that's black magic. Listen, to the eyes of evil, to the perspective of darkness, yes, that makes perfect sense. But there's a lot of blurred lines here. And since that came up, I want to share some, hopefully, very profound insights with you. And we're going to start with the beginning, where we really need to start. And that is, stop sending love. Just be love. If you are love, you never have to send love. Stop sending light. Be light. Stop sending healing. Be the healing. Be the prayer. Right? So whatever words we're using here, you can say, should I send love, light? Should I send prayer? Should I send whatever? It's the same sentiment with different words. So I don't want anybody to go into the comments and go, well, Kerry was talking about sending love, but what about prayer? It's all the same thing. We really have different words to describe the essence of divinity. That's what we're sending when we send love, light, love and light. So what am I doing at the end of every video when I'm sending a love activation that you didn't ask for? Am I contravening your free will? No, because if you're not able to receive it, and a lot of people aren't, then you can't. If you're not able to receive it, it's like water off a duck's back. It's going to skim right off of you, because it's a very specific frequency that I'm working with. And I want you to listen all the way to the end. Honestly, I'm not saying that because I want to get views and I need your eyeballs on my video. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it because there's so many nuances to what I'm going to explain to you that right up until the end, you're going to be learning different facets, different perspectives on the same thing, because it's one big picture. Sometimes people listen to the first 10 seconds. I've done it, you guys. I know we all have. You listen to the first 10 seconds of a video and you're like, okay, I got it. I got what you're saying, got the whole thing. Don't need to spend the rest of my time here. If you want to really understand this, just do yourself the favor and go right to the end. So be the love, be the light, be the truth, be the frequency, because that is a ripple. And the ripple extends and the ripple leads, but you don't have to put it anywhere. Meaning, when you are a embodyer of light, you are a conveyor of light, and it's automatic. But listen here, there was a time, and that time was before 2012, when the light that we could connect to was very dilute, very dim, for want of a better way of saying it. It was very depotentized. And when we connected with that love light, and we were sending that love light and feeling that love light, we were really working with a trickle, because we were still working in accordance with the old agreement. The old agreement was to have a false matrix and for us to populate it. But we came into that agreement knowing that there would come a time, pretty much from that 2012 era onwards, there would come a time when the false matrix was then going to be returned back to the organic universe, back to the divine matrix or God's original creation template. We knew that that was going to happen. And that's the cyclical nature of creation. It all works in cycles. So whether you call it time or whether you just call it a cycle of energy, it still has a point at which it comes to conclusion. So from 2012, that began to come into conclusion. And what that means is that for the first time, we could bring true light onto the planet. Everything we were working with before then, very dilute. Remember, from 2012, we now have access. And with literally each passing minute of each day, of each week, of each month, of each year, there's more and there's more and there's more and there's more access and more ability to embody the light. And the ripple therefore becomes bigger and more potent. And when that ripple hits the false matrix, in other words, when it hits darkness or density, its nature, because this is how light works, its nature is to alchemize the darkness into light. So think of light, therefore, almost as a contagion, but in the best possible way, that everything it touches, it transforms into wholeness. So it doesn't make it disappear. It turns, it transmutes that low density energy into a higher frequency energy, which we call light. So the light does the job. This is one of the primary teachings. It's so simple. And I find it's almost uncanny how it's the simple teachings that trip people up the most, because I have an online community. That's where I really offer the depth of the energetic work. That energetic work has to take place in a very, very sacred container. And for that reason, I have an online community called the Plasma Light Tribe. You're welcome to join if you ever feel called to. And in the PLT, one of the things that I share with people is your light leads, and trust your light, and how your light paves a path before you. Because it's a ripple, its nature is to do that. Its nature is to walk the path before you get there, to clear the path ahead of you before your feet touch that path. Light moves. You never, again, one of the primary teachings, you never micromanage light, meaning you never have to direct light and tell it where to go. It knows it is the divine intelligence of the universe. It knows exactly where to go. So for example, we tend to micromanage our own healing if we experience big crashing waves of divinity within us. And I notice people do this when we do energy work. They stop the whole thing. They slow the whole process down. When that light comes in, they suddenly become cognizant. Oh my God, this is a huge, potent healing energy. The moment that happens, then they want to micromanage and say, oh, light, go to my left knee, it's been paining for years, and my right toe, and my relationship with my father, mother, daughter, son, this is where you need to go. And then they go up into the brain, and then they are trying to control where the light goes, and then of course the whole thing is derailed. So it's this concept of really having reverence and trust in light. I feel like trust is one of the fundamental missing components to our spiritual evolution. We don't trust ourselves, and because we don't trust ourselves, it's very difficult to trust anything outside of ourselves. And the truth is, we're wired that way. We're wired, and I'm going to explain more about this in a minute. We're wired so that we always remain in integrity. We always remain in harmony. The universe is not a system that you can cheat. It's a foolproof system. There are no hacks. There are no shortcuts. So this means that you don't get, in truth, to trust something outside of yourself and not have that boomerang and teach you a very uncomfortable lesson until and unless you have trust in self in place first. Again, that's the nature of the universe. You cannot give what you do not have. I cannot give you trust. I cannot say I trust you if I don't trust me. That's going to be misplaced trust. And the universe is going to keep showing me that lesson over and over again. And if I'm really stubborn and I go, oh, well, you were wrong and I couldn't trust you, therefore I'm going to trust that person over there, same lesson is going to keep coming up over and over again. Humanity's in the process of learning that one right now. But nonetheless, it must originate from within me. So we really battle to trust light based on the fact that we haven't come into trust with ourselves, based on the fact that we haven't come into connection with ourselves. Again, all of this is what we're in the process of doing. Not yet mastered, but in the process of learning. So should you give love and light to another person, especially when they haven't asked for it? We cannot give love and light. I'm looking here around me. And the best thing I've got are my notes, a piece of paper, right? So imagine if I wanted to give you this piece of paper. That would be very easy. I would just fold it up. Maybe I'd go to a post office, right? Fold it up, pop it in an envelope. There you go. I can send you the letter because it's separate from me, you know? But if I want to send you the essence of that letter, if I want to send you the energy of that letter, there's only one way for me to send it. There is no universal post box that I can go to that I can send it and have it be separate from me in the way that the universe works, the only way for me to send something is for me to be interwoven into it. So I can't send love to you without sending a piece of myself interwoven into that love. This is where it's starting to get really intricate now. So if I am receiving the sent love from somebody, and remember, sent prayer, sent love, sent light, same thing. If I'm receiving that, what am I receiving? I'm receiving that a projection of that person's very good intention, but I'm also receiving their energy. Maybe they're stagnant, maybe they're depressed, maybe they're stuck, maybe they're holding density, maybe they're holding illusion, maybe they're holding confusion. That will also be interwoven into. So a degree of that's also going to be interwoven into. So really what I'm saying to you is there's a way to send energy. There's a way. And it's okay that we don't know it. This is stuff that we haven't learned. You know, we were born to a false matrix. So we didn't get this schooling until fairly recently. And just in case you haven't watched my videos and you're not familiar with my previous work, my name is Kerry Kay. Welcome to my channel. It's great to connect with you. I spent a very sick childhood, having multiple near-death experiences, going beyond the false matrix, learning what I needed to learn then to bring to humanity now as the walls of the false matrix crumble and collapse, so that we have a guide, I suppose you could say, a roadmap to a higher state of being. Anyway, there's a way to send energy. So when I send love, and this is something I also do in my online community, we do a lot of meditative work, a lot of energy work, and I will hold myself. That's where it begins. Hold myself in what I call my God state. So my highest alignment. If we want to be technical, that's an energy of 15th dimension and beyond. That energy is a non-corruptible frequency, and it's also based on sacred neutrality. That means I cannot interweave or interject my own human egoic stuff into it. So that becomes a very pure sending of energy, facilitated by a very pure holding of myself in a higher frequency state of being. The more you hold yourself in integrity and in love and in divinity and in your highest alignment, being true to you even when no one's looking, the more you do that, the more you offer yourself love. Not 10 steps to finally loving yourself. You know, I'm talking about the real deal. I'm talking about the real self-honoring, because if you want to know what self-love is, at its core, at its foundation, is that self-honoring. And it's a challenging thing to honor yourself when you've become so familiar with dismissing yourself, and then extend that to others by dismissing them. When you've become so dishonorable of yourself, of course you're going to extend that to others by being dishonorable to them. If you cheat yourself, you're going to cheat others, whether you want to or not, whether you intend to or not. We carry the way in which we treat ourselves to others. Therefore, the responsibility that we hold now is far bigger than we ever imagined. The responsibility of being a light worker, that is. The responsibility to hold ourselves in our highest alignment, because that becomes our ripple. And no, you never need to micromanage it, nor do you need to consciously send it to anyone. The universe does that. You embody the light. And then when you embody the light, you embody at a purer and higher level. And what that's going to do is it's going to make you prize growth and evolution. It's going to make you want to be around people who are growing and evolving, because then you know that they're purifying. We have that to do. That's the primary work of the light worker. It is to purify themselves, so that the emanation and the radiant ripple that they reflect from them effortlessly, automatically, becomes purer and purer and purer still. Now, I want to talk about backfiring, because there is a time when this can backfire, that is sending love and light. There's a time when it can backfire. A lot of the time, it's done with the purest of intention. And by the way, at the end of my videos, when I'm offering a love activation, I'm doing it from that God state. There is no intervention of free will. There is only, hey, this is what's available, take it or leave it. This is here, and it's here powerfully, because pretty much from 2012 onwards, we can now hold the frequency of pure love and pure light on the planet without intervening, with our agreement to be a part of the false matrix. When we agreed to be a part of the false matrix, we agreed not to dismantle it before its time. From 2012 onwards, it was time then to do the dismantling, and that's what we're in the process of doing still. So back to the backfiring of love light. Here's where I see it in my comments. When we might talk about, say, the archons, or we might talk about malevolent, manipulative, interfering beings on the planet, I often get people say, oh, kill them with kindness. Which in itself, I hope we don't even need to unpack how very deranged that is. But there is a lot of people that say, I just send them love every day, every day. I bring the archons, I bring the demons, I bring the beings of darkness to me, and I just pelt them with love. I just pelt them. I just bombard them with love. I just continue to send them love. You guys, this is where it can backfire on you, because that being of darkness is very desperately trying not to be love and to be around love, because love will transform it and stop it from being what it thinks it needs to be, because what it's addicted to, that being of darkness, is its state of separation. For it, separation is giving it a sense of superiority. So it wants to maintain that. It doesn't want to be around light, because light's going to reabsorb it into love and into wholeness, which is not where it wants to be. So that's its free will. Now, there was a time when we agreed to work with those beings of darkness and not offer the energy of love light by our presence on the planet to even challenge their relationship with stagnancy and separation. So that was a nice place for them. That was a comfortable place for them to be. But from 2012 on, that's when things shifted. And then it became a case of, listen, I'm not going to directly send you love light, but I'm just going to be it. And if you're in the way of it, if you're in the presence of it, that is your tough tomatoes. That is really yours to deal with. I'm not going to hold myself back now because, it's going to intervene with beings of darkness. It is now time for the darkness to crumble upon this planet. And that is just a decree of God. That is a decree of the universe. And that's why I keep referring to this 2012 marker point. Prior to that, free reign. The archonic beings of darkness, they had free reign on this planet. There was very little to challenge them. But very gently, from that 2012 period onward, we were given a new directive and a new freedom to connect with light, embody light. So those in the presence of that light, they are given a choice, I suppose, in a different way. And their choice is, if you stay on this planet, you're going to be transformed by the light that is. But if I isolate that person and I directly, and by that person I'm talking about a demon or an archonic being or a very dark being, if I isolate that person and I send them, I pelt them with, seriously, people have said this to me before because they really believe in it. They really believe that somehow they can send love, but not send part of themselves with that love. And somehow they don't see that in so doing, they're making themselves available to be psychically attacked, because the being that they're sending that love to doesn't want it and now sees that as a personal attack on them. And they will first, one of two things. First, they will energetically drain that person. And then second, they can turn around and energetically deplete or rather energetically attack that person. So the depleting, draining is one thing, and then the attack is another. Those are the two ways in which darkness can respond. So that's where this can backfire. Now, let's also address, how do I protect myself if a well-meaning person says, I'm praying for you or I'm sending you love light? You really don't need to. Honestly, here's what you need to do instead. They have beautiful intentions. How sweet, how pure, how loving, how kind. They may very well be sending a whole lot of their density with their good intentions, because it cannot be separated out. The universe doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't work that it separates out frequencies. Certainly not at the level where we've been operating at. But anyway, that's going to go too deep into too intricate of an explanation, so I'm not going to go in there. However, I will say this to you. If you are the love That's why elevation of your frequency is so imperative. If you are the love, then darkness doesn't touch you. Density and the darkness and the confusion and the illusion that was inadvertently sent along with the package deal that you got from a person of perhaps healing prayer or love light or whatever it is. If you are love, then that has no bearing. It literally gets deflected off of you, or it gets absorbed into love light around you, or it gets returned to that person. Your love deflects, your light deflects. It does the job for you. We just don't understand the nature of love and the incredible, intricate power that love is, the divine intelligence that love light is. If we understood it and we trusted it, we would never worry, oh my gosh, I'm being attacked by this person's good intentions. You're not going to be attacked by a person's good intentions. It's just that sometimes somebody inadvertently sends something your way that is actually not meant to you. It's kind of like just accidentally given as part of the package deal, right? In that case, it's your love light that protects you. You're an astounding being of love, but it's time to trust the love that you are. Trust the light that you are. But now you've got to take this a level deeper. Now you've got to engage with your love light way more. Purify at a way deeper level. Feel at a deeper level. So here's an invitation to you. Let's do a love activation. And the invitation is to let this one in just as deeply as you can. Just as beautifully as you can, just as gracefully as you can. Let love meet you where you are. And remember, you only have to do this to the best of your ability today. Tomorrow, your ability might be 10 times bigger. You might be able to let in 100 times more love light than you can right now. Just work with where you are today. And here's the thing. Let's keep this super simple. Just say yes to love. And what you are receiving now is not Kerry's love, because the love that I am holding transcends the individual person whose name I hold. The love that I am in right now is of God. And it speaks to that within you that is of God. And it activates that within you that is of God. So you can just softly relax into love. The love of the universe is the love that loves you, is the love that is conveyed in these words, through these words, in this moment, through all moments, because what this love does is it ripples through time, because light is not confined, not contained to time. It ripples everywhere and it expands and it billows and it grows and it flows and it gushes and it rushes into everything, even the places you forgot about, the hurts you forgot about, the pains you forgot about, the densities you don't even remember. The love light fills up every nook and cranny, every space within your energy field, and all it does is elevates. It elevates you. It takes nothing away. It brings everything together into wholeness. And it elevates you. You never have to hide from love. Because the truth is, love has always known your name. Love has always known that you will return. Love is the divine essence of God. Love has always been a part of you. It's a divine activation. The love that you receive right now activates the God frequencies within you that always knew that this time would come, this time of being switched back on again, of returning to the love light that you are. Love is contagious. in the best possible way, and it ripples through every cell of your body, and from every cell of your body it ripples to the planet that you walk on, to the environment that you live in. It just goes everywhere. You're not meant to contain that. Not anymore. Not anymore. Those days are done. Now you be the light. You be the love. From my heart all the way into yours. Here's another video I'm going to put for you. I think you'll enjoy watching this one next. Bye-bye for now.